Oh dear, I've got the wrong title. I'll have to change that. Hang on, give me a minute. I'll just leave it at that for now. Oh. Is it going to let me save it? Right, yeah. Oh, come on. Don't crash on me. Right. Right, so I didn't want to bore you all with the I'll better move the microphone a bit nearer. I didn't want to bore you all with all the modelling, but I basically decided to model it for the between the legs. I did a lot of thinking about this because even though I don't actually have any legs over here where the where I've currently got the coil sitting, because I thought about it a lot and I thought, well, making a support structure that clipped onto the inside hub would basically create some issues for me, so I thought, well, I'll make it so that it sits between these legs, because then when I add extra magnets on the other stages I can basically clip it into the positions, and these brackets are separate, so I actually stick them on later. So if I edit that, right, and edit that again, you'll see that these are separate components. So these little legs are separate components. So I've got a recess in the top there, which is a footprint or placeholder where I can stick the legs on, because it would be awkward to print that thing with these things sticking out. So I thought, well, I'll just stick them on later, because printing this thingamajig, which is that, let me just get out of that a minute. Printing all of that, because it's two sections, the top and the bottom, would be rather awkward to do. So it's split in half so that I can stick it together once I've printed it. So the top and bottom is basically a mirror image. The bottom is a mirror image of the top, basically. So I thought that was the best way to do it. So I haven't made this too thick, because the thicker it is, the further away the coils would be. But there's a rib, a ridge that goes all the way around here, and that will give it a bit of strength and stop it from bending. I can always put a bit more structure on it later when I've got the coil on. I could stick some struts between the middle section across there where the coil doesn't sit. I could always do that. Or I could add it to the model here. I don't know, it doesn't make much difference to me really which way I do it, but let's just have a look. Obviously the middle section is not going to be occupied because the coil is going to go around these legs. So I've been talking a bit on the phone a bit tonight, so my friend's a bit upset, so I've been trying to cheer up a bit. But so I'm a bit croaky. Let's just edit this and let's see what I could do with that. Right, I want to be in the middle, so I should be able to find the middle, because there should be a... yeah, that's the middle there. So if I draw a line with my ruler between there and there, that's the middle section, right down the middle. So now if I get my ruler and I come out about 1.4 millimeters and then go out 1.4, get a bit closer, 1.4 millimeters. Now, yeah, I might as well do that because it'll stiffen it right up. So go there, right to this edge, and go down here. And to be right at the intersection. Right. Now I can raise that middle section up a bit, but my coil's going to go around here, so I need to give room for my coil. I use that as a reference point because I want it to be exactly measured. So my coil's about 5 millimeters thick roughly, so I'm actually going to go a bit higher than that. So if I get rid of that middle guide now, right, I come in about 4.9 millimeters is good enough, I think. And I want a line. I don't know if I've got that square. Looks square. I'm going to do a line from that side. Right, that should. Let's just check. I'll just delete my guides. Delete guides. Delete that. Delete that. Now I should be able to raise that up. Because my coil's going to sit across here anyway. Sit that at the same height as that. So that should stiffen everything up so it doesn't bend and flex in the middle. And because it's a mirror image, the one at the bottom's also there as well, so I don't have to repeat myself. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, just finishing touches. I didn't want to bore with all the boring part of starting from scratch, because you've seen me do stuff before, but I think this will work. Let's go into black and white mode. Just stands out a bit better. So that's what we're going to be. That's what I'm going to be printing to hold the coil on. So it looks a bit flimsy, but when this thing is actually in place, it's going to be resting underneath on, hang on a minute, on these legs that come out, so it's going to be pressed up against the bottom of these legs. So there's a gap between this and the rotor. As long as I don't get any warpage, as long as it doesn't warp on me, I should be fine. And these brackets, because these brackets are going to be resting on top of these arms, it's going to pull this up anyway. It's going to prevent it from curling inwards, which is what I was thinking about, because I'm trying to keep this as thin as possible, this to support the coil. So let's measure that. Oh, I'll go to this one, it's a lot easier to measure this when it's out. It's exactly the same. So the actual thickness of this is about 1.6 millimeters, so it's quite thin, but I didn't want to make it too thick because the further away the coil is from those the rotor, the less power we get out. So I was trying to keep it as close as possible with maximum support structure on it. And yeah, oh, I need to get rid of that line. Hang on a minute. There we go. Right. Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky to print this thing actually, but as I say, the brackets are separate, so I can print them separately. I've been trying to think the best way to print this. The only way I can think is to print this with this side facing down. That's the only way that I can do it, which means there's going to be support material underneath here, so it's going to be a bit messy, but yeah, it's the only way I can print this thing really, with this side facing downwards, because that side's round, curved, so that wouldn't sit on the bed level. So yeah, well, I'm going to sort that out. I'm probably going to print that tomorrow because it's been a bit of a long day. Right. I actually want to export that just to see what it looks like in closed boot. Oh, I see why it's highlighting. I'm not quite sure why it's closed group, closed component. Ah, that's weird. Right. So are these? Oh, I see. Right. So let me just export that and see what it looks like. See if I've got any weird errors or anything. I'm waiting on my network again because the other computer's not on, so call it, what do I call it? Call it Supprt. Supprt. Canopy? I'll just call it Can. Oh, should I put Canopy? Yeah, I suppose that's what it looks like really. I wonder if I'm going to have them legs attached. I don't think I have. Oh no, they're separate, that's good. I don't want them in there. I want to print them separately. Let's have a look. See what it looks like and see if there's any errors. Nope, no errors. There's my footprints to stick the support legs into afterwards. Yeah. So I'll be printing it basically that way up. And I think that'll work. Do them little legs last. I only need to export one of these legs, so export that. Just call it, I'll just click on that and then change that canopy to leg. Right, so they're all them leg things are all the same, so I can just copy it when it's on the printer bed. Right, that should give me a lot closer coupling, because the gap between the canopy and the drum, obviously the drum shrunk a bit anyway, so the gap will be a bit bigger than what it is here, but the gap is in here in the model is 1.1 millimeter. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it'll be actually more when it's printed, because the drum shrinks a bit, quite a lot actually. Oh, by the way, I weighed my new drum today twice. When I weighed it earlier, I was doing a video and it weighed, let me just move my microphone, you can't see. What was it, 68.5 grams when I first weighed it, and when I weighed it later on it lost 0.1 of a gram, so it's 68.4 grams. So it lost 0.1 of a gram in about 5 hours, 6 hours. Actually, that was over 12 hours ago actually. So I know you can't see right now because I haven't got the camera plugged in, but I'm going to wait again. Right, I'll just tell you what it weighs now while I'm alive. I know you can't see it, but we'll see what it weighs right now. Now it weighs 68.3 grams, so it's lost 0.2 grams today, drying out, which is good, which means it's still drying out. So based on that progress, I would expect it to be, by tomorrow, the new drum should be 68 grams. It should have lost another 0.3 grams while I've been asleep, so it's definitely drying out. I actually turned it upside down to let it dry more slowly, because if it dries too quickly it can distort. Certain areas can get, the thinner areas of the plastic can actually dry quicker than the thicker areas, and it can cause it to warp a bit. That's why I turn it upside down. I know you can't see it, but by putting it upside down, it means that all of the acetone vapor has to escape through the main wall to dry, so it makes it even, so it doesn't go out of shape. So it's definitely going to take about a week to dry thoroughly out. Right, so what I'm going to have to do, because I've designed this to fit in between these smaller sections, is I'm probably going to end up printing some more of these legs out and sticking them on the front here. Probably that's what I'll do. To I have the legs all the way around because it'll work. It's just that when I initially did this, I wanted a lot of open space to experiment with, and now I'm needing these legs to be at the front as well. So the other way is to just modify the model and print another one, but I'd rather not do that. I can certainly print some more of these legs out individually and stick them on or something, but we'll see anyway. So I was looking at the rotor assembly and the laminations that are in these sections, and they definitely will encompass the coil, which will sit really close to these legs, so that's going to be okay. As you can see that the laminations there are basically right where these legs are, so the coil's going to sit snug up against the legs, and then that will help hold the coil in place as well. But you can't see it on that side because the canopy is covering it. Over there it's underneath, but if you go to X-ray view, you can see a bit better that it's just right underneath here. It might actually lose a bit of power because the coil's further in, but we'll see anyway. Right. So just an update on what I'm doing. This thing is, I moved that sidebar across and it went back again. Error. Huh. Well, it better be working. It says it's working, so right, anyway, that's it for now. It's just a little update. I didn't want to bore you with hours of SketchUp modelling, so I'll try to keep it short. Thanks for watching.